Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It's a great day to be alive, and I'm really excited about today's message about eating at the office, okay? My glory God, offices are the worst environment for emotional eaters, right? We're going to get into that in a minute. I'm just going to say first, if you haven't joined us in the Secret Sauce group, please do so. That's where you're going to get the latest updates on what's going on with Heal Your Hunger, and I record many of my podcasts there as well. Also, if you're here for the first time at the Heal Your Hunger Show, I want to tell you, you're in the right place if you've struggled with food and weight for any length of time, if you're tired of diets, if you've dieted and lost and gained more times than you can count, if you're tired of hating your body, if you're tired of not fitting into your pants, if you want to wear those cute clothes that you have in the back of your closet, if you want to feel good in your body, if you want to, like, if you're not particularly concerned about losing weight, but you want to just feel good and feel good about yourself, this is definitely the place that you want to come. So all shapes and sizes relate to my message, which is all about dealing with the underlying causes of emotional eating. And if you don't know if you're an emotional eater or not, definitely go to my website, healyourhunger.com, and find out. There's a quiz on there you can take, and you'll find out where you're on the spectrum, because frankly, we're all emotional eaters. I mean, come on, I believe God kind of hardwired us to have an emotional connection with food, because then we will eat and we'll subsist as a planet and a species. But beyond that, some of us do take it too far, like I did. I was 50 pounds overweight because I love to binge on sugar and carbs and brownies and cookies and ice cream and Doritos and potato chips and ooey gooey chewy foods of every kind, okay? So when I was in the office setting, I definitely imbibed way too much, and it was hard for me to say no. So definitely take the quiz on my website, the emotional eating and food addict quiz, and find out where you stand in the spectrum. So on with the show. This is going to be a short and sweet message. I want to talk about eating in the workplace, because guess what? It's so rampant and it's so easy to do, and it's so hard not to, because you're at a job that you might not even like, and you're just sitting there bored, or you're just like tapping your fingers saying, when is 5 o'clock going to roll around, and can't wait to get out of here, and all that negative stuff, not to mention the gossiping that goes on in the work environment. I mean, women love to gossip, let's face it, and I was, I can gossip just, as much as the rest of them. But that gossiping kind of makes us feel yucky about ourselves, when we're joking about somebody, kind of ranking on somebody, or we're talking about the latest movies or TV shows or whatever. That stuff's fun, but then when it turns negative and kind of like, we're dissing somebody, it makes us feel bad. So there's that adds on top of the stress of being in a job maybe we're not so happy about, or just feeling overworked, and tired and exhausted and just needing a break. But day after day, we got to show up at work. These kinds of things, personalities, politics in the office, all these things contribute to emotional eating in the workplace. And the workplace is so hard for us because that's where everybody dumps their leftovers, right? Everybody's bringing food in. You go into the office kitchen and there's leftover cake, there's leftover cookies, leftover holiday food, birthday party food, not to mention the fact that people are always throwing parties at the office. We're always celebrating someone's birthday or some new milestone, really because women want an excuse to eat, right? So we're always coming up with some reason to bake a new goodie to bring to work. I mean, it's just, the workplace is hard. We don't like to work. We want to be out there having fun, and we're kind of trapped at work. And so what do? We overeat, and we just nibble and snack. Then there's the candy jars, on people's desks. They have a jar of candy or a bowl of Hershey's Kisses or whatever. And every holiday, there's some new candy. Valentine's Day, it's chocolate. Easter comes around, it's little bunnies, chocolate bunnies or whatever. Valentine's Day, we've got those little candy hearts and, whatever. I mean, any excuse, right, for food. I mean, in the holiday time, we have Christmas food, we've got Hanukkah food, we have, again, leftovers galore. Halloween time, we've got candy corns. I mean, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through all the food and make you hungry. But my point is, there's every holiday has its food, right? And that food ends up in the office because, people are food obsessed and they want to eat. And so they're bringing it there. And guess what? They also want other people to eat. So it's so hard when you're trying to be, healthy and make healthy choices and you've got all this temptation around. So this is what I want to talk about today, and I'm going to give you some tips on what to do, and these are very simple tips, but these are just reminders. I just want to be in your ear. This is why I love it when you tune into the Heal Your Hunger show, because I don't have a long involved podcast. I'm just to me, I like short and sweet. Let's get to the point. Let's get the message. Let's get the reminders so we can get on out there and live our best lives in the healthiest way possible so we can serve more people, right? I mean, as emotional eaters, we have such good to do in the world. We are givers and we are talented and we are energetic and we make things happen. Let's face it. But the problem is then we feed ourselves, too much to keep ourselves going. So it's really about slowing down, taking care of ourselves, and my goodness, most of all, getting support in eating healthy. So I do have a program. It's a 90-day program. If you're curious about that, you can go to the show notes or to healyourhunger.com and learn about how to get into that. I do that by interview and invitation only. So you can register to have a breakthrough session with me, where that in of itself is super helpful if you want to get on the right track with your eating. But beyond that, I'm happy to share with you about my program and see if that might be a fit for you. So don't try to just do it yourself, because if you've been struggling for any length of time, probably you can't, right? You do need support. So by all means, get the support you need. But let me just give you some tips on just right here, right now, getting healthier at the workplace. So the first thing you can do is bring your own food to work in a container, plastic container. Like I used to, I haven't worked in an office in a long time, but I used to bring my salad in a container and I'd put it in the kitchen refrigerator, or I'd bring a cooler and I just have it there. Best thing is put it in a cooler and don't ever go into the office kitchen, because that's where all the traps are, all the candy and cookies and leftover party food is. So bring a cooler, put the salad in a plastic container in your cooler, bring a fork and a knife and a napkin, be prepared, and a drink, and my best suggestion for eating at lunchtime is to take a break from your desk and to get up and go, sit outside if it's nice weather, sit outside at a picnic bench, or on the river, or wherever if you have a nice office, outside office environment, or environment outside the office, or go to the break room, if you need to eat, in the break room, or go to your car even, go to your car and turn on some nice music and just have a relaxing time. A time when you can breathe, breathe and take a break from work, and take a break from just all that gossip and all that activity and all those personalities. The best thing you do is really take a break when you have your lunch. So that's my first suggestion. Take care of yourself. Don't leave it up to chance of what's going to be around, or ordering out when everybody else is ordering out. Ordering out gets really expensive and it gets fattening, right? Because the foods we buy at restaurants always have more calories and more fat and more unhealthy fats than we really want to eat. So prepare your own meal, take control of what goes in your body by taking care of yourself. Does it take more time to do that? In the short run, yes. It takes some planning. Takes some shopping at the grocery store, takes buying the right ingredients, but it feels so good to make that salad. Get in the routine of it. At first it'll be like, drudgery, but keep doing it. And before you know it, you'll get used to it and used to taking care of yourself that way. If you eat with other people, they're going to comment, okay? They're going to comment and they're going to say, oh, you have so much control, or, oh, what are you on a diet or something like that. You don't have to answer any of that stuff. It's better, again, it's sometimes better to just go eat on your own and have a time out. That way you don't have to answer to everybody's comments about your food. Emotional eaters like company, okay? So when they're eating crap, or you guys are all out to lunch, at a restaurant, and they're eyeing what you eat, if it's healthy, they subtly want you to eat like them, because then they don't feel guilty, okay? So just be aware there's some dynamics going on when you are trying to eat on a healthier track. There's some dynamics there that people might be subtly sabotaging you. They don't know they're doing it. They don't mean ill towards you. It's just human nature. Misery loves company, and they're going to want you to kind of do what they're doing so that they feel like they're doing the right thing, or at least they don't feel bad about doing the wrong thing. So eat on your own when you can, in a peaceful, like just very relaxing environment. So it's a real break, so you can enjoy your food, notice your food, chew your food, and just savor it. So then the meal happened. Sometimes when we're just chatting away, it's like our food's gone and we don't know what happened. So, make it count. But if you are with people, it's really important to not talk about being on a diet or trying to eat healthy or whatever. Just be like, this works. Just say this works best for me, And if somebody offers you something to eat at the office, if they're passing around cookies or whatever, again, don't get into a story about what you're doing about your health, because they're probably not going to want to hear it, or they're going to want to change it. So I usually just keep it very, very, very general. And I'll say, oh, thank you, that doesn't agree with me, or thanks, I just ate, or thanks, I'm not hungry. Like just simple stuff where it sort of ends the conversation, where they don't really have space and, to argue with you and try to convince you. You could say even, I'm sorry, I have some food sensitivities, and leave it at that, So something that just makes the conversation end, and then they can move on, because people, they are busybodies, and again, they're curious. If you're eating healthy, they're curious about it. You just don't want to get into defending the way you eat, or explaining the way you eat, or declaring that you're on a new plan, because that puts pressure on you, and you just want to take it a day at a time. Like, I never say I don't eat sugar anymore, because that's a long time, and I don't want to forswear myself. I don't plan on eating sugar in any time soon, because it sets me off, it triggers me, and it gets ugly fast. But I never declare that I'd never eat sugar, because that's just too much for me. I just need to take it, in one meal at a time, one day at a time. So I just say, no, it doesn't agree with me. That's it. Move on. So super, super important. Another tip is that if you're tempted, get busy, okay? If you're feeling tempted, if everybody's like and eyeing over some food that somebody brought in, and you're the only one not eating it, just get up and go take a walk. Get up and get busy. Go work on a project, or go make a phone call to a buddy, a friend, or if you're in the Heal Your Hunger community, go on Facebook and just, let us know what's going on with you, and we'll jump in and support you. So, so important. And so it's just, don't just sit there in it and feel deprived. That's really torture. So get up, like move a muscle, change a thought. Okay. So if you start going down that road of, oh, poor me, everybody's eating it and I'm not, move your body, get up from the table, get up from the group, clear the table, start getting busy, be of service, clear the table, pour some more drinks, or, get the water out, make sure everybody has water, or make sure they have coffee. Just make yourself useful and get out of that stinking thinking. Okay. That's going to help tremendously. Super, super important. Go for a walk. Put your earbuds in your ears and turn on your favorite dance music and go for a quick walk, even if it's down the hallway. If it's wintertime and you got a hallway at your office, go walk up and down the hallway. Just move a muscle, change a thought. That's what's so, so important. Don't sit in it. Don't sit in the longing. Don't sit in the feeling of deprivation. Also, my last tip is, if you do feel deprived, okay, if you feel deprived, it's really important to know that what you're depriving yourself of, if you don't eat that ooey gooey chewy food that makes you put on weight, instead of seeing it as being deprived, think of yourself as giving yourself a gift of health, a gift of feeling good when you wake up in the morning, a gift of continuing to fit into your pants, a gift of not being stuffed. Imagine that. You're giving yourself something. You're not taking something away. You're not deprived if you're not pigging out, okay? Think about it. Yeah, a moment on the lips and forever on the hips, okay? So, again, get up and move around so you don't feel deprived, but also remember, you're not lacking something. You're actually gaining something. You're gaining in a sense of just ease and grace and feeling good about yourself. So that's really what's happening when you say no. Office environments are hard. They're highly toxic, in terms of personalities. There are a lot of people there not owning their stuff, blaming, backbiting, and of course there's good stuff and good offices as well. But I just mean anywhere you have people, you've got a lot of personalities and a lot of potential for sickness and toxicity. So, one of my favorite sayings, from Roy Nelson is tend to your own rat killing. That means don't be a busybody. Tend your own rat killing. That means just, just focus on what you need to do for you in that day. Like, don't get in other people's business. Don't try to, control other people's lives or convince people of things or, get people on your diet or whatever. Just mind your own business. Take care of yourself. That's a lot right there. Don't take on too much. Just do your work. Do a good job at work. Do the job they're paying you to do, and then obviously do your best. But best to not get involved in other people's business and just really, self-care is the name of the game. Take care of your food needs by making the salad or the meal before you go to work. Making sure you take a break at work so you can enjoy that meal in peace and quiet. And then just making sure you're a friendly force in the office and not a gossiper, so that you don't have to feel bad, so you don't have that undercurrent of yucky feelings that might drive you to eat. So those are my tips for you today. Bring the lunch and healthy snacks. When somebody offers you something, just say something very benign, like it doesn't agree with me, or I have food sensitivities, or, I just ate. If you're feeling tempted, get busy. And when you feel deprived, remember you're not depriving yourself. You're giving yourself a gift of feeling good about yourself. So those are my tips. Enjoy. You don't have to get defeated in the workplace. Make sure, I invite you to be a part of the Heal Your Hunger community by joining my 90-day program, so that you have support. You have a band of women around you locking arm in arm with you so that they can support you. Nobody can do this alone. We can't do it in a vacuum. You got to get support. So I hope these tips are helpful. I'm sending you so much love. You deserve to feel happy, joyous, and free, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And taking care of yourself in the workplace is a good way to work toward that. So thank you. I love you, and I'll see you in the next show. Take care.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.